Yeah. Let's see. Live chat. Very cool. I'm in my shop. I'm currently working on my smart gun. So the smart gun itself has been very straightforward. I got all of its upgrades made, no problem. But the way that I've got the proton pack activated is not. It's not getting enough current. Yeah, so right now I'm opening it up so I can get to the Arduino, so that I can add a line of code that will activate a MOSFET that will then trigger the MOSFET in the backpack. So the backpack will have its own battery. The smart gun will have its own battery, and the smart gun will just tell the backpack to turn itself on. So they're both using their own battery, so it's not trying to draw enough current for both systems at the same time, because it just didn't seem to be working. There may have been a short in there somewhere, or I'm not sure exactly what was up. So I just need to activate an additional pin so that when the blaster revs, that pin will go high, which should then flip the MOSFET, which should then flip the MOSFET. We'll see how well that actually works. Yeah. Yeah, and I need to... The real question is... what do all these wires go to? It's been so long since I've been in here. Why are there 3 yellow wires? Cut that one, not that one. Ugh. Let's turn this up a little bit. All right, what's going on in the chat? People chatting at us? Hello, hello, hello. It's 2 a.m. where I am. I can't help where you are. It's 5 in the evening where I am. It's also 90 degrees, which is just unnecessary. Let's see. Do I want to use any specific LARP weaponry brand? I don't know any LARP weaponry brands. I don't follow the LARP world close enough. I will probably just end up using whatever is available. I'm gonna label wires. I don't need to know what they go to. They're plugged into a thing with a number on it. So I'm just gonna put a piece of tape on the wire with the appropriate number on it. Yeah. Then I'm going to need to remove some wires and add a jack, probably. Okay. Yes, I am going to Afterworlds this weekend. And there is a good chance I will have need of a smart gun at Afterworlds. If there's anyone from Afterworlds watching this, they have probably just wet themselves. But there is no need to panic. All right. I don't know that there ever will be. Out of Darts carried them, but they I don't think they're going to carry them anymore. So you're going to have to get you'll have to get a small and hack it up and add some darts. Yeah. Just no. Gussets, man. Gussets are the way to go. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there you go. All right. This one is D13. Ire. The first West versus Zombies. Many. Quite a few years ago. Okay, this is. Yeah, I started doing a full internal upgrade, but then I needed her for a video, and I had to throw her back together and get her functional, and I never got back to part 2 of the upgrades. One of these days. Yeah, it's a long list, though. Okay, this one goes to 9. Yep. My most used primary at this point, probably my FDL3. Alright, and this one is. No. No, they are for completely different purposes. So I use my FDL3 for HVZ because it can get down to the numbers and it fires full-length darts. Whereas the Momentum is half dart only and is meant for much higher FPS. I got that one for tournament use, for competitive. Because we're finally getting competitive here in the Pacific Northwest. And I wanted something that was really effective for that. So it can do lower FPS, but if you go below 150, the accuracy starts to suffer because it was never designed to go that low. And so apparently Eli only added the code to make it go that low because Out of Darts requested them, but it was never really tried or tested or tuned for anything below 150. As a minigun connoisseur, what are your thoughts on the Prometheus with a God Hopper and a proton pack? It would hold a lot of ammo. Not sure what you're looking for there. Do you like your pew-pews? I have 2 pew-pews, and yes, I love them. I use them as my sidearms in my for HVZ, and they are fabulous. Somebody ask Al a question, for crying out loud. I lost the button. Are the shellings going? Oh, shellings are over. All right. Let me get this thing out of here now. Come here. Here we go. Can they not? What do you mean they can't? Someone says we can't see Al. I see Al. He's right there. Am I missing something? No. What? What on earth? He's a guest. He's right there. I see him. Did you see him last time? So they just think I'm talking to myself here. All right, I'm going to remove you and add you back and see if that fixes it. So you might have to click the link again.
How about now?
See him now?
I like that last comment. Is this a bit where you are talking to yourself? Anybody see me? Bingo. There we go.
Can you see Al? There he is. Al is here. Hooray.
So for those that were here before, just to confirm, Chaylo has not lost his mind. He wasn't just talking to himself randomly. Well, in this sense.
To any conclusions.
We're shaking everybody. There we go. Now you can see us.
Hey, talk to him for a minute. I'm trying to figure out.
He's got to wire some stuff up.
Remove that wire.
So yeah, the Cap is working on his smart gun. I'm not working on anything. The only thing I'm working on is a tan because I'm at the beach.
Yes.
That looks like spaghetti, man.
Here's the brain of the whole operation. Sure ain't mine. I am not in charge.
No.
Here.
My brain is more like a wheel, and there's like a little furry animal that runs in it, and I think he's on strike.
Okay. Well,
yeah, those are a lot of wires.
No. I'm tempted to just leave that.
Not mess with it.
Removing it would be more trouble than I think it's worth, and it might be handy someday.
But what is my opinion on Nerf flintlock pistols? I've not played with one or messed with one. However, obviously from a cosmetic perspective, it is fantastic. Never mind if you're doing with a whole pirate theme, then if you're going to do a flintlock pistol, I think you got to have a bandolier in many of them, no?
Yeah, I'll agree. Yeah. I like the Fortnite one. It's hammer primed, single shot. I wish I had more of them. I've got one. Okay, I need to figure out the wiring on this.
Thanks, man. Yeah, just try not to burn. I am working on my tan unintentionally, so today I actually stayed out of the sun because I think I cooked part of my arm just a little bit there. Yeah. Yeah, a little bit. But yeah, I am at the beach.
For autism this year. I haven't even heard about it yet.
I know it's happening, but I haven't gotten a specific date when that's supposed to be. Because if I can make it work, I'll go. I think it's something. Well, you might actually be in Europe when it happens.
It's entirely possible.
Yeah. Because I think what they were saying is September, October. So yeah, it falls right in around where you're either coming or going.
Yeah, I'll be in September from the 15th of September to 24th of September. I'll be in Europe. Being so deplorable. Running amok in France and Germany and Switzerland. little bit in England, just a little bit.
And any other country they let you run around in?
Yeah, we're flying into London, and then we need to figure out how to get from London to Portsmouth. Portsmouth? I'm gonna call it Portsmouth.
I think so
Portsmouth?
too. Although Portsmouth is kind of funny,
Probably
but you'll probably catch a.
Portsmouth, but I'm calling it Portsmouth, and they can't stop me. We're taking a ferry to France. That's gonna be fun.
How long's that?
11 hours.
Oh wow.
Yeah, you wouldn't think it's that far,
Yeah.
but we're not going like from Dover to Calais. We're taking the long route from Portsmouth to St. Malo, so it's a longer trek.
Portsmouth. Yeah, there it is. Portsmouth is correct.
Don't care. It's Portsmouth. It's clearly spelled Portsmouth. I'm pronouncing it Portsmouth. I don't like it. They can change the spelling or the rules of English. And then most of the rest of the travel will be by train from France to Germany, Germany to Switzerland, Switzerland back to France.
We did. I did the ferry from Dublin to. I can't remember where it was, England. Holly. I can't remember the place, but it was like a 4-hour ferry ride. And the Irish Sea is rough, but otherwise the ferry ride was nice because that's a big ferry, man.
Yeah, we went.
Hollyhead. Yep, there it is. Thank you.
My first trip to Europe, we took a ferry from Ireland to Normandy. I think it was a 15-hour trip. It was lovely. It was nice.
Yeah, because we did the Hollyhead, and then Hollyhead we took a train all the way to London, which is beautiful, along the countryside.
Delicious beard, you said. I get people asking all the time what I use to get the streak, like old age and stress. I also had one person complain that it's not quite centered, and you're like, I'm sorry, my aging hair pattern is not symmetrical enough for you.
Dart sweeps in us. What's happening, Andrew?
You mean Gloucester? I've been to Gloucester. Gloucester. I will pronounce it as wrong as possible.
He has also been to Maryland. He's also been to Washington and.
Oregon. I've been to Oregon. Idaho.
I find oregano better. Ha ha ha. Hello, Australia. Actually, interesting enough. So far, I've wanted to find out how End War went, and so far reports are that it actually went well and that much fun was had, which is good to hear.
The humans won.
They did.
I'm looking forward to getting the whole story on that because that's never happened at End War before.
Well, since Andrew's in here, I will blame Andrew, and I will make something up and say it was all Andrew's fault and he had it rigged. Of course, I'm just making making stuff up as I go along. So.
I've been to HVCs where the humans won. Not very many. We managed to win Ragnar Oktoberfest 2018. Even though there wasn't a human victory condition, we went ahead and won anyway. Oh, Dartsweep was one of the survivors, so it is his fault.
It was his fault. Although he did report one of the major problems, and again, this was outside of the realm of anyone's fault. It was the fact that it was 100 degrees and humid as hell, so it was kind of gross outside.
Yeah, apparently one of the missions got called on account of heat. Where it's like, no, go into the shade, drink fluids. We'll start again later. I thought that meant the event had been canceled, but it was just mission 4 got called for heat. So I'm glad they were able to finish it up, and I'm glad the humans won. Like I said, I look forward to hearing all the details. All right, I need to work on the next part of this project. I need to figure out where I'm mounting an audio jack.
And why are you mounting the audio jack?
So the way this is going to work is the backpack will be designed to have its own battery, and it'll have a MOSFET in it. And when you complete the circuit on, or you send a connection to the MOSFET, it'll turn on the backpack, and the blower will go, and the agitator will go, and it will feed rounds into the blaster. So there needs to be something in the blaster that tells the backpack to turn itself on. So I'm going to be wiring in an audio jack that will plug into the blaster and plug into the backpack, and that is how it'll activate. At least that's the plan.
I'm pretty sure most people knew that, but just in case they thought you're going to put an iPod in there or something.
Yeah, it's for the audio. Yeah, for the sound effects and music. Gotta have thrilling combat music, of course. Dun, 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 dun. Flying burrito kick. Anybody gets any of that reference, you're old.
Oh, I wanted to ask you back to
Yes.
when we were talking about competitive nerfing. So then, when you say competitive nerfing, I'm gonna have to say it's either one of two things. Are we talking competitive nerfing or Team Mega Double XL competitive nerfing, or
I actually wanted to
taking
try some serious
Team Mega Double
competitive
XL
stuff.
to like more? Okay.
Yeah, I did actually. I played on one of the teams at, I think, Ragnar Oktoberfest 2018.
Yep.
And we didn't take it terribly serious, but we had fun. But now that there's both the Waffle, the Washington Foam Flingers League, and Awful, the Oregon Foam Flingers League, and I'm halfway in between them, and I now have my own competitive field, I actually want to give competitive a serious try. Especially since I have the blasters for it. I did get a new blaster recently.
What'd you get?
I finally got my hands on this monstrosity.
Oh, is that the? Look at that.
It's the S200S, the Bays. Singwei
Look at that.
Old action. It's very nice. I wanted it because it was in my colors and it looked cool. Out of Darts was finally carrying it. I was hoping that Blee Blasters would eventually carry it so I could get it from them for free, but instead I paid money to Out of Darts, which is also an acceptable way to get things. And I printed the adapter so it'll take Talon mags now instead of its weird proprietary mag. It's about 180 right now. Plan to probably try it with a heavier spring because it's got a real nice long barrel and it's got a scar barrel in there now. It fits right inside that muzzle thing, which is mostly cosmetic. It is
That's still very cool.
Fun to take apart.
Oh, do tell.
It doesn't have quick spring release, so it wouldn't be too difficult to make it so it did. But taking it apart, yeah, it's got steel bolts going into aluminum, like Chicago rivets.
Yeah.
Not a good plan.
They don't want you to open it.
Well, no, they definitely did because they gave you the wrenches to do it. That is definitely supposed to be attached to something. See that round thing in there?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's supposed to be on one of said bolts.
I'm sure it's fine.
I'll bet I can actually get it back on. You just wait. You just wait. I will get it back on without taking the blaster all the way apart. I'm gonna try it. It's not gonna work, but I'm gonna try it anyway.
Do we need to ask Luke if he has another one just in case?
For the term Geneva Convention, or rather Geneva Suggestion, or as the Canadians call it, a checklist.
That's right. I know what you're talking about, eh? Al, what is the oldest Nerf blaster you owned?
I have the original Nerf ball.
That doesn't surprise me. I've not gone too much into the collecting the vintage ones. I did have. Was that called the old Nerf Secret Strike? Is that the one? Where was
Yeah,
that? That's probably from
there's
the early
two secret
2000s. That
shots.
the one that had the dart in the handle, pull back on the front, and I still had that while I lived in Canada. So, dude, that was man, at least 20 years ago.
More than that, closer to 30 is when that thing came out.
So then that's when I got it. Yeah,
Yeah,
that
it came out
would
in the
be in the night.
90s.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yep. So I think that is the one. Where it exists now, it may exist somewhere still in my parents' basement. If my old man didn't throw it out at some point.
I did it. I
So
got the
yes,
roller
that
in.
one. Did you get
I
it?
pulled it off. I got it in.
And does it still work?
Well, how should I know? I haven't put the screws back in yet.
Oh, that's true.
What
Yeah,
kind
I,
of
I
people
guess
asking
you kind of want to do
questions?
that. They are about stuff and things. Oh, back to what I was trying to say before when they couldn't hear me and see me. So yeah,
Oh yeah,
I I finally started playing with a gel ball blaster. And you know what? When you're at the beach on vacation, I love this because you know what you don't have to do?
clean it up.
Pick up darts. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can hang off the back deck, put up a couple of pop cans and have at it. Never mind, I've now apparently made friends with all the kids within earshot of this thing. So we've gone through I think about 4,000 gellets and no one's called the cops and it's not a BB gun. It is a gel ball blaster. And you know what, man? I'm actually liking this thing more than I thought I would, which is surprising.
Does
I
have a
def-
nice zip to it. I
it
got to
does.
see a cool blaster last weekend during my private war here. Out of
Yeah.
Darts brought the Diana, and I want two of them. I want two of them in a dirty, dirty way. It is the quietest, snappiest flywheel blaster I have ever seen.
Really?
It's not the most powerful, but it uses super high torque motors.
Mm-hmm.
And so it only makes noise for the fraction of a second it takes to actually fire the dart. So it sounds like that thing. Just vip. There's no long rev. There's
Wow.
no rev up. It just vip, vip, vip. It's wild. And it takes, you have to modify them, but with a slight modification, it will take Nightingale mags.
That ain't bad.
So
I haven't checked.
apparently,
Is he actually selling them yet?
not yet. They're hoping to get their order in. I told him to reserve two for me. I don't care what they cost. You save two of them for me, and he said okay. So I will get my two of those. And yeah, um, I'll have to modify a bunch of all my Nightingale mags. You just have to add a second notch because the catch isn't in the same location as it is on the Nightingale. No, I haven't tried the full auto one yet.
Me
I
neither,
haven't
not yet.
decided if I want to get the Select Fire kit, the drop-in full auto kit, or buy the full auto version. Because the full auto version, last I heard, they only come in white. And you can't take the internals out of the full auto one and put them into the semi-auto one. Not the official ones anyway. They've got slightly different internal shell geometry. Whereas there is a drop-in kit that you can put into the Select Fire or the semi-auto ones to make them full auto. And I'd really like to get the official one because it's probably had more R&D. But I want it to be orange, and I don't want to have to paint it.
No kidding. By the way, I am good. Thank you for asking. My best-selling blaster, um, because I change them up, and I guess I sell a lot of Raptor strikes to Mandalorian cosplayers, and it's also awesome when I do cons and I see them walk in with it, and still fully functional, and they walk around and use them. But yeah, I sell a lot of Raptor strikes. I think it's also because I do in about 10 different colors, so it doesn't matter what color your Mando is, it's gonna go.
Right.
Now I know obviously certain clubs it doesn't look official enough and it still fires, but most of those guys don't care anyways, and they just love having it. After that, I'd have to say it's probably long shots. But again, the long shots, I put a 9 kilogram spring in it. and it's got a monster barrel on it, so it's not something you're gonna run on an HEZ for. But again, in the cosplay world, yeah, they go pretty quickly as well. What's Andrew saying? I recommend the full auto version. Just got my orange one from Containment Crew at End War.
Oh, do
He
they have
actually
an
ran it
orange
at the
full auto
war.
one? Do they have an orange full auto one? Because I might just get that then.
Yeah, because that's
Let's
one he wrote. He
see. Do I
he
like
used it at End
Albanese
War.
gummies? Albanese gummies are my favorite gummies. They are the best of gummies. What else do we got? Yep, Canadian. Gonna use the Geneva checklist. Is the Strife still relevant blaster to this day? Absolutely. I mean, every
Yeah.
couple of years somebody comes out with another semi-auto magazine-fed blaster, and everyone's like, "Oh, this will be the Strife killer!" Like when the Spectrum came out, and yeah, it had higher or FPS out of the box, and everyone's like, "This is it. This is the Strife killer." But then it was off the shelves in 6 months. Whereas the Strife is
Yep.
still available in some places, but it was on shelves for at least 7 years. So there are hundreds of cosmetic kits and over 10,000 motor wheel cage combinations. And the trick is finding one, which is why I stockpiled them when they were $15 on Amazon.
And you can still find them on Amazon. They're generally hitting it around $30, plus or minus.
Yeah.
And then also every Christmas, usually just for Christmas, and I think when, actually, you know what? For Prime Day coming up next week, I would not be surprised if you'll find them down closer to $20. So if you're still looking for stripes, and the maximum sell is usually you can buy 3 at a time when they drop the price. So check Amazon Prime Days next week. Was it July 12th? And I wouldn't be surprised if you'll find actually various Nerf blasters that'll be discounted because it almost happens every Prime Day.
You don't do cosmetic mods on the ones that you paint, right? Or don't do internal mods, right?
No, I do now. Originally, I didn't, but now I have to. But a lot of times, I still keep them battery because, again, most of them are going to be wall hangers. And my problems I run into is because the real big ones I sell to a lot of people at cons that once you say the word lipo, it's like instantaneous fisheye where they just look at you, go, what? And then it turns into a nightmare. So just keeping it regular batteries unless otherwise. But yeah, the Strife
Yeah.
still make a big bunch of master keys. But let's face it, like I do have a couple of performance ones, but I don't sell them. They're kind of my own because
Right.
again, that's the majority of people who buy them from me.
That's my opinion on the Nexus Pro. The Nexus Pro is a fabulous blaster. It's one of the best ones you can get off the shelf in like Walmart as far as performance. It can be
Yeah.
modded. Its top end is not as high as the ones that you can't get on the shelf, obviously. So I mean, you're never going to get as much out of it as you're going to get out of a Swift or a Harrier or anything like that. But out of the box, it's great, and you can get the tuning caps from out of darts. It'll raise it or lower it by like 20 FPS. So if you need to lower it to be able to take it to a game, or you want to raise it to get a little more performance, it's super easy to do so.
You're on cue. He smiles. Ah.
What do we get?
It will be interesting to see like the new the Dart Zone. They're not calling it like I think they should have just kept it a Spectrum like Spectrum version 2, but the Thunderbolt. I love the fact
Right.
that they changed the front end of it and got rid of that big ugly thing that was on the front end of it, much like the Mark III. I don't know who was in
Yeah.
charge of that at Dart Zone, but like, why is it every other blaster you make has a cool on front end, yet on the Mark III and then on the Spectrum you put that thing on it? It's like what are we doing? Why? Why?
But they seem to have worked it out because you look at the Omnia and it's a nice felt little. I mean, it's an FTL3.
Yep.
You know, they just went, what do
Yep.
people really like? They like FTL3s. Well, let's make it look like an FTL3. And it'll take about a week from the time those are released until someone will have a drop-in brushless kit for it, and then it will be an FTL3.
That's right. Start a pool. How many days until?
Yeah. How many days? They've probably already started it. They just were waiting for the blaster to be released so they can get the geometry on the cage.
That's right. Absolutely.
Hopefully, I will have an Omnia, and if they actually give in to my ridiculous demands, 2 Outlaws.
Two
With dual
outlaws.
wielding. 2! One for
Well,
each
of
hand.
course.
I don't know
Well,
if they'll do
yeah.
it. My demands are ridiculous, but we'll see. Yeah, that is the difference. Is the Omnia is what, $90 compared to
Yeah.
what, 1,500 for a used FDL3 these days?
Oh my God. I know. It's one of those things I should have bought one then, but you know what? It's like anything. If you're on the fence about any large purchase blaster, we've been in this business long enough. Buy it now because you'll just be kicking yourself later when you don't.
There is no
Yeah, there was an
worst
Omnia.
Nerf blaster. That's not a thing.
Yeah, it is. It's the what with the one. What is it called? They reshelled it like the Scout. That's got the feed in. What was it called at first, man? It's that crappy one that doesn't got a magazine. It's got the bar feeder on the front of it.
Oh, the
It's
Battle
about
Scout.
that big. Yeah, that thing is just crap.
Oh, there's worse. I mean, have you ever seen the
Probably.
Warthog?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, yeah. The problem with trying to claim what the worst is what metrics are you using?
Yeah.
Because I guarantee
So
you, you
it'd be
pick
more of
any
a group.
blaster, and I can pick a metric that will make it the best. But I can
You
also
also
take
maybe suffer.
absolutely any blaster and pick a metric to make it the worst.
You also may be suffering from some head injuries we don't know. So
Yeah.
yeah, Andrew said he had one over the because they had the Omnia over obviously at End War, and
Yeah.
that thing looked pretty cool, man.
That hold line cap? What? The
Oh,
eyebrow. I don't know. Alright, I need to continue working on the thing I'm working on. That I will hold off on until I've actually updated the code, which I'll be doing tonight. We have a day and a half to get this thing working. Worst case scenario, I put the smart gun together, even though it's not working, and just strap my Jupiter to it.
no, no one needs to know. No one needs to
No
know.
one needs to know where yeah, no, it's not coming out of that barrel, it's coming out of the other barrel. Doesn't matter. I'm going to be using it the way I'm going to be using it, it won't matter.
They're gonna run. They're gonna run anyways,
Yeah.
or fall with MA if they don't.
Yeah, my NPC character will die horribly. I'm an
Oh, yeah,
NPC,
yeah, there's a
so
question.
it don't
That's right.
matter. Where are you at?
No. How do I like to deploy? I'll be honest. I feel like I should like to deploy, but I don't like to deploy. I've had a couple of them, but I think part of it is I don't know what to do with the thing. But I got enough people asking me. I feel like I should make an effort and do something with the deploy. So let's call it like this. I've not given up completely on it. The jury's still out on the deploy. Yeah. Also, I'm gonna try to, but I think I'm gonna go to. I'm gonna try to go to APOC this year because who doesn't want to go run around when it's 100 degrees and humid outside? You gotta love the thing if you're willing to do that, right?
Yeah. Several of these I remember somebody invited me to APOC back pre-pandemic, and the aspects of it that they were trying to use as selling points were not good selling points for me, because apparently back then there was a heavy consumption of alcohol combined with high power FPS blasters, and I don't drink, and getting shot all night by drunk idiots with 300, 400 FPS blasters does not sound like fun. Might be fun if you're drunk, but it's definitely not going to be fun if you're not drunk.
Well, then again, I think if you're drunk and you're getting hit by it, then you suddenly change your mind. But to my understanding, it is not like that anymore. It's actually kind of competitive and fun. Correct me if I'm not wrong. So yeah, you want to come to APOC and we'll not drink. There, how's that?
We'll just sit in the corner and not drink together. Oh Lord,
And then
this
we'll just
thing's
hit.
falling apart. Don't fall apart. I need you
Ooh.
for things.
Oh, then we'll play a game. We'll keep shooting the drunkest guy out there until one actually hits the most drunk one determined. Which means if you passed out face first, you're still game because you've chosen poorly.
Question: Dual mag where it can switch and not just have extra mag storage. Can it be done? It's literally been done. Nerf released that blaster. I can't remember the name of it. But it's
No, there we go.
it's a nope,
Yeah,
don't
Builder B
recommend
makes a
it.
good point. It's too hard to drink anything but water at APOC. Yeah, otherwise you're gonna be you're dropping you're gonna be dropping like flies, and not from the booze, just from the heat and you're sweating. That makes total sense.
So the rewire on the backpack should be super simple. I just need to wire in a MOSFET and an XT60 connector and an audio
Someone asked
jack.
thoughts. There you go.
What?
Someone thought thoughts on Coop's retirement. Um,
What about Coop's retirement?
the thoughts on it. Here's my thoughts on it. Awesome, because ultimately this is your life. You do what you want when you want to do it, and when you can't do it anymore and you need to do something else, you do something else.
Yeah, I mean it made him rich and famous to a degree within a subset of the population.
Yeah,
I definitely feel he did a lot more good for the hobby than bad. I mean, the only thing that the two things that he did that are not really bad, just mildly annoying. One, everything's a Jolt reskin. That joke got old real quick, but originally was hilarious, which is why it survived. And the other one is the hatred towards the deploy. I largely blame on him, which again was a gimmick. It was kind of funny, but then people take it too seriously and continue
yeah,
to harp on it years after. Like it's like everyone, it wasn't any worse than any of the other blasters that were released at the time. But anyway, I enjoy it. I only ever actually meet him in person a couple of times, but we chat online. And I really enjoy his company. I told him if he's ever in the Pacific Northwest and he doesn't look me up, I will hunt him down like the dog he is. So yeah,
he's been
I'm glad that
warned.
he
He's been
recognized that
warned.
he wasn't happy and needed to get out and did, because if he just kept doing it because he felt like he needed to, he was just going to get less and less happy and his content would suffer as a result. And yeah, he realized now's the time. Wasn't enjoying it anymore, then yeah, quit doing it. You don't have to quit doing it.
Yeah. Well, it's like everything else. It's when you're working on something or you're involved in something that you do not like. It doesn't matter how much you try to put on a face that you like it. Your work suffers. What you do suffers. It
Yeah,
filters down through everything. So it's like anything. It's a great lesson. Like recognize when you're not happy with something and it's not going with you. Sometimes you gotta change direction and do something that will make you happy. But it's the same thing. I tell that to everybody when they ask me about when I make things, or especially when people ask, "What do you think I should do? What should I make?" And my simple question and answer is the same thing that I do: make what you want to make, man. Do what you want to do, and only do that. Don't worry about trying to chase other people or do what other people are doing, because ultimately, in the end, sometimes you get caught up in doing that instead of what you want to do. Now, in the same token, feel free to check out example what you do to draw inspiration and figure out how to do stuff out. But you know what I mean? Find that it is what you want to do, and then you will always love this hobby, and you'll always keep going with it.
yeah. That's why I've made no attempt to make Nerf a full time job, make my YouTube channel a full time job. I have no desire or intention to try to make a living doing it, because then it would become a job. It would become work. I would have to pay attention to algorithms and pay attention to trends and make the videos that get the clicks and get the likes and the follows and all that. And those are almost certainly not going to be the videos that I want to make.
Yeah,
For me, I have a full time career that pays my mortgage, and this is just for fun, and it pays for itself at this point. And that's one of the reasons I have been able to stay interested, is that I do the videos I want to do. I make the blasters that I want to make. I review the stuff I want to review. There's stuff I want to do that I still haven't gotten around to. I want to do more and better war footage. I want to do tournament footage. I want to do, kind of stuff. And I'm slowly building towards that. I just haven't gotten there yet. Alright.
see, you know what you got to find, man. You got to find an Andrew, because you got to find someone like that goes the same fence you do, is great at what he does, and loves doing it.
Yeah. Oh, I do like that better. Wouldn't have to change the wiring, just where it plugs in.
That would work better.
Might need a little. Oh, I've got plenty of extra wire here. All right, what do we got? What do we got? Answer some questions. What are you cackling at, sir?
Someone called us cute bearded ones.
Cute. Don't flirt with the old men. Won't realize you're kidding, and we'll get all hopeful. MOSFET.
Wait,
MOSFET.
no. I'm gonna have to move soon where I got some light, but yeah. So he's in the workshop. That's where I'm at. Kind of beachy. Yeah, that's the other thing. If you can, man, take a break. Enjoy life when you can. Do what you can. I am in Delaware, man. I'm at Dewey Beach.
Motors to battery. Cool. I hope this MOSFET still works.
I guess we're gonna soon find out.
We gonna find out. All right.
All right, I gotta move.
It is too warm to be soldering. It's 90 degrees here, and I don't like it.
It's not even kind of normal for you guys at all.
No. Well, it didn't used to be. It is now. Trying to tell me global warming's not a thing. My swamp ass would say otherwise.
In more ways than one, it will tell you. All right, pardon the darkness. I gotta move to somewhere else. Ooh, there's the light.
How is your blacksmith shop coming? It isn't. Thank you for rubbing that in. Yes.
How's your
Nice
what
to be
coming along?
reminded of my failures. Considerate and churlish.
Oh yeah, by the way, I don't have official word. What's that? Al, have you considered the 3D printed blasters? Actually, I have started messing with 3D printed blasters. For example, I have a white Caliburn and decided that it looked too new white and not like me. So then I dirtied up, distressed it, too shiny, too not loved and worn, and it looked freaking awesome. So yeah, more of my 3D printed blasters are going to get some love and change what they look like. So then it actually looks like. You see, again, this falls into the whole thing of don't worry about what other people do. Just make it your own. Own it, love it. And again, when you own it and love it, it's not because exactly. And when you own it and love it, it's not me telling you, yeah, this is better because whatever. I don't care. That's the best thing about this hobby. There's so many facets to it. You can do so many things, and there's so many things you're right about. There's not
So
one
much
end
variety.
all be all. It
Yeah, that's one
is.
of the things I do love is the variety. Not just in the variety of blasters and the variety of styles, but the variety of play. So there's casual
Yeah.
stock play, there's super stock play, there's competitive play, there's HVZ, there's LARP, there's plinking, there's if you just like tinkering and trying to build the most powerful blaster ever, even though you know you're never going to be able to use it, you just like pushing the envelope of engineering. There's that in this hobby. There's 3D printing. There's injection molding. There's all kinds of stuff people have done. The sheer amount of engineering that is available in this hobby and what people have to work out is amazing.
All right, what blasters would you recommend for new players for? Right there you go. So what would you recommend for new players in HVZ? Which blaster?
HVZ, anything currently made by Dart Zone. Like the Villainator is a fabulous HVZ blaster. The Spectrum, the new Thunderbolt. I recommend either something pump action or something semi-automatic. Full auto is a waste of ammo and will get you killed. You're
Yep.
going to burn through a mag faster than you realize, and then you're going to get tagged when you run out. Something that you can easily top off is generally a good idea. That's why things like the Villainator, which is drum, is great. Keep in mind most HVZs are going to be 120 or lower, 130, 120 or lower. So you don't need a heavily modified blaster. And the more you modify the blaster, the more points of failure you introduce.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be high powered. It doesn't need to have a high rate of fire. It doesn't even need to have a huge capacity. You just need to be able to reload it quickly if necessary. What you want more than anything is reliability. Because if it fails once, you're done. You're a zombie now. You only get one mistake. You get one failure, and then it's over. So it has to be reliable. It cannot be finicky. It cannot ever jam. It cannot ever misfire. It has to work every single time. And a lot of that is in maintenance. A lot of that is just in practice. In running 1,000 rounds through it to make sure it doesn't fail. The problem is you can never guarantee it's not going to fail, because you might put 1,000 rounds through it and it fails on round 1,001, which is the first round you try to shoot an HVZ, and you get tagged in mission 1, and that sucks. But that's reality. But something simple.
Like, for example,
Very reliable.
and you can see by the
don't need to. Yeah, exactly.
simple
You
spam.
don't need more than 25 feet of range. If you can hit a man-sized target at 25 feet, you're good, because the zombies are going to come to you, and tagging them further out than that, they're just going to respawn and come at you anyway. So, back in the day, the first things I would have recommended were an Alpha Trooper or a Strife. And so look for the equivalents of an Alpha Trooper or a Strife.
So this one, because I think my first one, I ran Percy's Hopper on it. Loved it. But at the same time, it's like when you're running that, I think it depends. If you want to be the big heavy in front to mow down masses, well, then that's how you play. But then also, for example, using this, never jams on me, but I love the accuracy on it. And so just standing behind with something with a heavy, and then just pinging off the ones that aren't mowed down, and she goes, want to play. On the
Yes,
same time, on the
how
same
you
token,
play
in
makes a huge
Pennsylvania,
difference.
yeah,
And
like
especially
even
if
in
you're playing in a
Pennsylvania for a
group.
while, yeah, know your role.
Yeah, if you're playing by yourself, then you need to have something very versatile. If you're in a group, then the group can specialize, and one person can be the heavy, and one person can be the marksman, and you can have your standard rifleman, and then you can cover each other's deficiencies.
But like for a while in Pennsylvania, I was running a Forerunner, the Rival Forerunner, and you know what? It was great. It was reliable. 12 shots. So you pick up and it's easy to reload as you're moving, and it's great. So you can go as crazy or as simple as you. And we had a couple people running around, and all they were doing was they were throwables. Also,
Yeah,
mind you, they were probably about half my weight and could run for days. So that's probably key. But they had a
if
blast
you can do
just to see
sock
if they
ninja,
could
sock
just
ninja's a
run a
great
throwables.
role, but I'd make a terrible
Yep.
sock ninja. I am too old and slow to sock ninja.
I'd be great for about 5 minutes.
Good lord.
Now, on the same token, if you are new to like, if you are, all right, there you go. Especially now since you're starting a new competition. If you are new to competitive nerfing, what would you recommend as that you people should use or get?
Budget takes a huge factor, but
Yes.
luckily, the X shot long shot now exists, and that's $30, and is
Yes.
completely competitive out of the box. The downside is the plunger tubes have a tendency to break or be broken when you get them, so you're going to need to wait about another week and a half until Silver Fox Industries gets the aluminum plunger tubes. Then you're looking at, a $6 spring, a $13 barrel, whatever the plunger tube costs, and a $30 blaster. So well under $100, you're going to get something that can hit 220, 260, depending on the barrel and the spring that you go with. That thing is amazing, and for the price, there is just nothing that compares. And it's there's a lot of people going, how like the barrel and the spring should cost more than $30. How is the whole blaster $30? And it's really cheap plastic, and it feels like cheap plastic, and the plunger tubes shatter, and yeah, we know where the cost cutting happened, but they probably also knew, yeah, we're gonna mod this thing 5 seconds in. Why should they bother? Kind of like,
well, it's also like anything.
We're just gonna sell you the shell. You put the internals you want in it.
That's right. Well, like anything else, if you're going to go buy 1,000,000 pieces, suddenly it becomes very cheap to buy 1,000,000 pieces per item. So,
yeah, the Tryon is also for its cost an excellent value. For flywheels, I mean, unless you're getting into 3D printed stuff, which is an option, but none of them are cheap. You're looking again, Dart Zone.
yep.
The Omnia, I haven't seen the performance yet, but the Omnia and the Mark III are decent for their price and are moddable. Nightingales, again, it kind of comes down to your play style. If you want to be able to reach out and touch people, you're going to need to get a Springer. If you're one of those you like to run in real quick, then the Nightingale's not a bad option. There's mags for it. It takes standard ammo. It's svelte. There is a high-powered version, which, it's 150 or so, might be a little less. But that's still competitive at close range.
It is, but now I'm saying, let's say budget.
Competitive.
Yeah. Now let's say budget's not an issue. I think the first one that comes to mind, the Harrier, straight out of the box, is beautiful.
Definitely for long range. The Harrier is definitely still one of my absolute favorites. The Mark IV also isn't bad. The Swift isn't bad for Springers. Yep. A Lynx, if you're going to get into 3D printed, the Lynx is very compact. I mean, that is basically what the X-Shot long shot is a Lynx. Downside to things like the Lynx is getting it under 150S is all but impossible.
Yeah, but like most of the competitive ones, like the Maryland Mayhem and the other ones, it was 250 and under. And Magic Smoke, I think all of them had a Lynx.
Yeah. Lynx is great. Talon Claw, Caliburn, any of those are all still good. For flywheelers, again, if budget is not at all an option, the Momentum when it becomes available, the Pew Pew if you can get on the list. I haven't gotten one yet, but Gavin Fuzzy's SBF, that one's probably going to be quite good. There's all sorts of others. If you want to build your own, you can build, an Ultima Strife, a brushless Strife. There's brushless Raven kits out there. I mean,
I guess ultimately, if you're new and you have no idea, buy an X-Shot, buy a Zuru X-Shot, and that way
start out
for $30.
Start out with an X-Shot. Start out with Dart Zone.
Yep.
And then get on the forums, get on the Facebook groups, start figuring out what other people are using, figure out your play style, whether you want to be a Springer or a Flywheeler, or if you want to do both, you can. Yeah, the FDL3,
absolutely.
I mean, they aren't made anymore, so, I mean, you got to find someone looking to sell theirs, and there's a reason I smuggled one out of Denmark when I got the chance. Okay, fine. I will just graft you in. It's going to be easier that way.
Do it.
Well, see, I've got the MOSFET here, but it currently has some really large wires on it, which are not fun to solder. But I can't get them to come off because they just keep soaking up the heat. Like, it soaked up so much heat, the LED turned on. And that's when I decided I'm going to quit pumping heat into this delicate little board and just graft onto the end of the wires. It's going to be a mess, but
it's going to work.
I'm in a hurry. I can make it pretty later.
That's right. See, I got this thing when I was in Pennsylvania for Pennsylvania Survival Fest. And again, don't get old or have a brain tumor because you forget stuff. And I forgot his name that prints them and makes them. And I got this thing. Semi-auto, and she comes in just at under, comes in at under 120. And you know what? I love this thing for HVZ, just because, man, it is compact, it is easy, it is accurate, and yeah, I can't. Andrew, remember what his name is? Because Dart Sweep was there too. I can't remember the guy's name, but loved him. He was awesome. And again, I'm not even the idiot that got his name wrong. But yeah, this is what happens. Don't get old, you forget stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, absolutely loved it. And the interesting thing about this one is Chris Caruso, he had bought it originally. Then I looked at his, I said, I got to get one too, and I bought a blue one. And the funny thing is, we're both looking at each other. He's looking at my blue one, and I'm looking at this one. And so at the end of it, I said, "Dude, you bought first. It wouldn't be fair. What do you think?" And anyways, we swapped. So he took the blue one, and now I own this one.
Nice. I like that one.
And
I'm biased
dude,
on
yeah, I
colors.
wonder why. I can't imagine why.
I mean,
Yeah, no, you can't have
so
one. Sorry,
Dart
brother.
Sleep's asking what we think about AEBs. I love them. Just because the Strife was my first, and I like the recoil, I like the noise. I got the Colonel Wasp 76, and I finally got the buffer tube for it. Makes it look much less problematic.
Yeah, you probably want that. I guess it all depends where you're going, right? If you never leave your basement, then it doesn't matter.
So finally got so I can just put a modern stock on it, and that's also the battery housing.
Nice.
And yeah. The one I need to get one of the worker scar barrels and trim it down enough that it'll fit on the end of that. So I can have rifling.
That was the guy. That
And,
looks awesome.
Hunt down the top rail. I know there's Picatinny top rail, and put an optic on it, and then it will really look less bad.
Yes.
Really cool cosmetic kits for it out there.
I've seen it. Yeah.
Expensive. I suppose, given that I didn't pay for the blaster, buying a $50 cosmetic kit doesn't feel like as much of a silliness, but
Dude, so far, everything you've actually talked about that you got to buy, as I remember, last time we talked about this, you already blew your budget. So yeah, now I feel like it's kind of negative.
yeah.
Wait, allegedly,
I already had
allegedly,
money set
allegedly.
aside for the SBF, so that's
All right, fair
not
enough.
an issue. But then I did buy the $190 sniper rifle looking thing over here. And I need to start putting money aside for a pair of Dianas whenever Out of Darts gets those. And I just bought plane tickets to Europe, so...
Hey, man, so you want to buy more plane tickets that come out to APOC?
No. I'll take the train.
That only take 4 days.
I wish there was more train in the U.S. I mean, the amount of
Yeah.
train we're going to be taking in Europe is fabulous. It's like... Yeah, we've gotten most of it worked out. Like, we don't yet know how exactly we're getting from Heathrow to Portsmouth. We do know how we're getting from Portsmouth to France, and then we're getting picked up in France by a friend. And then we know the train that will be taken from Brittany to Paris, and then we have to take the subway across Paris to get to the other train station that will take us to Germany. But we know the train that we're going to be taken to where we're going in Germany, and then we're being picked up by a friend. And then we're planning to take a train from Frankfurt to Legoland in Germany and spend a day in Legoland, and then take a train from there to Switzerland and hang out with Putek. And that's what we're not sure how we're getting from Switzerland to Carcassonne yet. The trains there, it starts getting a little wibbly, so we need to talk to Putek and go, okay, how do you do this? I don't know how to work a train. We don't have trains here. Trains are a thing from cowboy movies. So some of it's very straightforward. Some of it we already have. Like, we have the plane tickets to London. We've got the ferry tickets to France. We have a hotel in France. And a plane ticket back from France. The rest in the middle, still kind of wibbly. I don't know. Do we have to buy our tickets months in advance? Some of them they aren't even available months in advance.
I don't think so.
You buy the train ticket the day you want to leave. What kind of weirdos are you? I don't know how it works. So we're gonna. Luckily, I've got friends in all of the places who can tell me. Hopefully, how do I get from here to here?
So wait,
Worst case scenario,
you're gonna be gone.
We'll never come back. We'll get trapped.
So wait, you're in Europe 10 days,
Scenario,
right?
we're going to get our international driver's license and we'll just rent a car. Do it the American way and just drive for 8 hours at a time. Much
September,
rather
you should
take
be
a
all right.
train with
August
free
renting a car is a
Wi-Fi and
nightmare.
drinks. Yeah.
Oh, seriously. Wait. So wait, you're gonna be in Europe what? 10 days?
Yeah, get rid about 9
All right.
days.
So that makes it 240 hours. So you know what? You know, it'd be interesting. Keep a log of exactly how many hours have been spent on a train, and we can work out the percentage of your trip to Europe was actually just in a train, which then leads us to believe: are you actually going to Europe or just going to go ride a train a lot?
It shouldn't be more than about 20 hours.
You say that now, but
Give or take. It might be more.
fine.
We will
Fine. We'll
probably
take
spend
out
at
sleeping.
least a day of it will be spent on trains. And we are very much doing that on purpose. If we wanted to be in a hurry, we'd fly. But I've been in European airports, and if I don't have to, I won't. You have no idea the loops I went through to never have to go back to Schiphol Airport. They kept trying
I'm
to
not
put
doing
us through
Frankfurt
there.
again.
No?
I'm not doing Frankfurt again.
Did I ever?
Frankfurt.
No, I never flew to Frankfurt. I went by train. No,
Frankfurt
I
is
flew
big and
out of
great, but here's the
Frankfurt.
problem. Yeah, so I landed at this gate. And so literally through the floor, maybe 30 yards on the next floor is the gate I have to go to. It took me 2 hours to get from here to here, and I was running.
Yeah, the one option we would have flown out of Toulouse, and that took us through Schiphol with a 20-hour layover. No, not happening. So we looked at other airports, and
Nope.
instead of going to Toulouse, if we go to Montpellier, then it takes us through Charles de Gaulle, and it's a 2-hour layover. So we get to have, lunch in Paris. Oh no!
All right, back to these people.
Yeah. Let's get back to questions. What do we got going on here?
Darzone just asked. Darzone
Yes,
just asked, "Where's
I in
my?"
fact have. I have a travel version of Carcassonne. We will be playing Carcassonne on the walls of Carcassonne. That is the whole purpose of this trip. That is the only reason I'm going, is so that I can play Carcassonne on the walls of Carcassonne. Who's Captain Wolf? What's Kyle Hamilton? I have no idea. I don't know, man. I'd have to check. There may have been a reason. There may not have been a reason. I have no idea.
I don't know nothing.
I purge a lot of people from
Oh,
Facebook every once in a while. I was like, who are these people? I've never actually talked to any of these people. Why am I friends with you? I don't read your posts. I don't even post anything. Why am I here? Who's got a question?
Many questions.
What do we got? How do you two go about making any replica mods? I'm looking back into Gears series, and I'm surprised to see a lack of Nerf mods from that series. What's Gears series?
Gears of War.
That would be my guess.
The way I do it, I get a lot of questions like that when people ask me to make specific blasters from specific games, movies, or anything
Can you
else.
make me the blaster from this video game, from that video game?
Oh yeah, and so the big thing for me is I always explain to people I don't do actual like direct knockoff. Part of it is when they ask me, I always tell people, I said, send me a picture of what it is you're looking for. Show me a picture of what it is specifically you're looking for. And sometimes you get, obviously, y'all know there are blasters that kind of look or mimic the looks or effects of, let's say, said blaster or weapon from that game. And so then with some tinkering, if I can make it work, I'll make it work. But then for people, I get a lot of people asking for dead replicas, and I said, listen, at this point, if you're looking for a dead replica, I can't do that. Because, again, we take existing Nerf blasters. I'm not a designer to 3D printer from scratch. And as I tell a lot of people, if you're looking for the exact replica, you're better off hitting Etsy and 3D print the thing for you, and it'll look amazing. It'll never fire, however, but clearly I think that's what you're looking for. But like some of the ones people ask me for, if I could actually make that and have it fire, I'd probably be in a different market and have a lot more money. But that is not my skill set. So for me, it's
For some,
again like a Yeah, it's
Go
definitely.
on. Go
But
ahead.
like a lot of mine, I get people asking me, it's like, is this from Gears of War? Is this from this? Is this from that? And I somehow, because I'm twisted, I guess, ride the fine line of many genres. So I have many blasters that people will come up and argue it's this, or that. And as I tell people, it's whatever you want it to be, man. This is just something I made. And if it fits what you need or what you're looking for, that's awesome. It's just the way
Yep.
how I do it. It also prevents from copyright infringements.
There is that. For some things like the smart gun, I got lucky, and the prop that was used to make the smart gun was an MG42, which was also the prop that was used to make many blasters in Star Wars. And Nerf made some of those blasters, and they were close enough cosmetically to an actual MG42 that I was able to cut it up and add some 3D printed parts, and was then able to make a functional replica smart gun out of a part of a Nerf blaster and a lot of 3D printed parts and some PVC and whatever else. So if you're trying to do Star Wars blasters, there's a good chance that it might already exist.
Yeah.
Also, like it, it depends on what you're trying to make. If you're trying to make something that looks vaguely like an AR, well, we have both the Jin Urso blaster and the Strife, both of which, with the right amount of greebles, can pass. Especially the Jin Urso blaster. It is built on an AR. It looks like an AR. It's just got greebles and lights and blinkiness and stuff. But you can make it work.
Yeah.
But the other option is, yeah, if you go to like Etsy or Game Shop, it's because like there is a Gears of War replica toy, and I was actually working with the Nerf curator years ago. We were going to try to put the internals from a Strife into it, or not from a Strife, from a Stampede into it. But the project never got finished, unfortunately. So yeah, it can be done. It's just going to be, if there isn't already a Nerf blaster that vaguely looks like it, it's going to be a lot of work. Like the smart gun was a lot of work, but luckily someone had modeled the entire thing on Thingiverse, and so I was able to print the parts that I needed, like the handles and the grips and various parts for it, the supports on the barrel, and then glue it and make it at least vaguely functional. But yeah, cosmetic work it's a complicated thing. It's an awesome part of this hobby, but it's definitely not the easy part of this hobby.
No, and how much you got to do can very much dictate how much a blaster goes for. If it's going to take you forever, yeah, sorry, man.
Oh
It's
yeah,
going to cost money.
yeah.
Sorry, quick little shout out. We got Sophie in the house. What's shaking, Sophie?
Which Sophie?
Sophie Lightning.
Suddenly, hey, yeah. Fancy
Yes,
meeting
she
you
is.
here. Won't you get
If
in
you don't,
trouble
well,
hanging out with us reprobates?
no, I think well, we've known her long enough. You nuts, man. Sophie's awesome. She won't get in trouble with us. Not anymore. I don't know if she ever would have. But yeah, if y'all don't know who Sophie Lightning is, go follow her on TikTok. She has millions of viewers, and I love when she goes live there too. And you get a lot of people that have no idea about nothing, yet she still powers through. So I was like jumping in and
Yes.
telling people to be nice.
She's done a
Maybe one
lot
of these days
for
we can actually
making
figure
our
out how to
side of
use
the
this.
hobby more well known.
Oh my God, absolutely, absolutely.
Because we're still a very niche hobby and a very small part of the overall Nerf world. Because we know about ourselves, and so we think we're the big thing, but we really aren't.
Nope,
So it's always
that's
really
for
cool
sure.
when somebody is able to show off what we do better than we can. What else we got going on?
I I encourage that. Oh yeah, by the way, so if anyone's in the DC area, if you do cons, the end of the month I will be doing Otakon. Otakon is a
Ooh.
convention that happens in DC. It is it's a con. It is definitely more
Okay.
heavy on anime, but I do have a booth, and actually I think Dartzone's Derek from Dartson is going to be with me. So we will be there, and he hasn't confirmed anything yet, and so I am not going to say I'm getting this or that, but I'm pretty sure he'll have some pretty cool things. Most likely, he probably will have an Outlaw, and he probably will have a Thunderbolt at least. I'm hoping he has an Omnia. That'd be awesome. But again, we have not talked about it. Nothing's been confirmed yet. But the fact that it's already been out, I'm pretty sure he'll have it. So yeah, that's Otakon. That's the last weekend in July. I will be there. Andrew Dartsweep will be there as well. Even Boomstick Mods. Neil, I think we're going to drag out if he's available for that weekend. And a bunch of guys from actually the Maryland Foam Alliance. They're all going to be giving us a hand to help answer questions, which will make my life and Derek's life much easier as opposed to trying to answer everything.
Yeah. Right. This goes to
Oh, and
the battery.
also, nothing confirmed yet if she ends up in our neck of the woods. She just said hi. She may also be stopping in. Figure that out from here. But again, that's not confirmed. It all depends because she is a busy lady. But if she's in town, she'll pop in.
What do we got going? Anything? I'm wiring an XT60. Jacks. Bin full of jacks.
Yeah.
Everything about this operation is becoming increasingly kludgy, and I'm here for it.
See, that is one of the big differences. You have the patience and the drive to mess with that spaghetti and figure it out. I think by now I would have given up.
Pull all the wire off.
But again, that also falls into know what your wheelhouse is, know what it is you like to do and what you're good at. Or, sorry, let me correct that. Know what you want to get good at or get better at.
Very true. The vast majority of things in this world are skills, and skills can be improved with time and practice.
Oh, and there we
Doesn't
go.
mean
It's like
that
I mentioned him, and he's here too. So we got Boom in the house. What's shaking, Neil? I just told everybody you're coming to Otakon somehow if we can get you there. And at the same time, look, there we go. We got Valor in the house as well.
Valor! Valor, you're a nerd and you dress like a gigolo.
Oh, and answer a question earlier. I would have worn my Xavier my Xavier shirt, but I don't have one. All he has right now is a small. So we're trying to figure out how to retrofit that into a dickie until a larger
Yes.
shirt was made.
Or you could just wear it as a head wrap.
Ooh, wait, I got a big head too. No, I think we can make it work.
It could work.
Yeah, Neil, you got to come visit the shop too. Wait, is it disaster? Yeah, my shop's a disaster right now. It doesn't matter. You can still visit. There we go. So yeah, you can come to Otakon if you don't want to see me, but you want to see Neil. You want to see Boomstick Mods? Yeah, you come to Otakon. Consolation prizes, you got me and Darts on. I saw they're only $10, but here's the problem. My size, much like here, we'll use a visual demonstration. So you probably recognize this shirt right there. See that? Notice the big blue letterings. That is not a coincidence. That is also my shirt size, and unfortunately, those are not available anymore. I am a little svelte, although I could probably squeeze into a medium, but then it requires some scissors and probably a trip to the emergency room after to get me out of it. Actually, it might make it. It might make it to here. Then it'd be like a really weird looking tube top.
Some random person's pinging me.
There we go. So if I bought 2 separate XLs and then sewed them together, then I'd have a double XL. I could do a crop top. Yeah, that's what the captain already said, that I should just cut out the middle like this. That's where I got air.
Yeah. Alright. Battery.
Or I'll just get a black T-shirt and an orange marker.
Yeah, there you go. Just draw it, write an X on it. Get some fabric paints.
Yeah. Yep, that's right.
The key is the sleeves. It's the X-Strike logo on the sleeves that makes it so special.
That's true. That is very true.
Because you don't
My
see that a lot, and it means that if you're wearing a vest, like an attack vest, you can still see the logo.
Yes. Am I working on the interesting construction jobs? I have ideas in my head, and I definitely have to. My supply of large, ridiculous master keys is running low, so I just realized I got to make more. I just sold. I had Saturn master key, a big white one, and I sold that one on Awesome Con too. So that one's gone. I have a red one of those left, so I want to make a couple more of those. My God, that's right. The long shot brainsaw master key is gone. The long shot Raider master key is gone, which actually went to a guy in Germany, and he's a Mando cosplayer. And I follow him on Instagram, and he busts him out at every con he can. So it's always cool to see that. And then I had I had a Strife brainsaw master key, but that one went too. So yeah, I got to make some stuff. But there was something I was thinking. Yeah, I got to check my list, man. There'll be a few things which I got to make, and it'll be something. Will I have a sale before August 30th? Yeah, sure. I'll figure something out, man. Oh wait, actually, yeah. So boom, I do have a double punch. Anthony actually ended up giving me his. I gave him something, then all of a sudden he's like, "Here, take this." I said, "No." So yeah, at Pennsylvania Survival Fest, I got Anthony's double punch. I can't remember. I gave him a bunch of something I had. I just can't remember what it was. So I do have one, and I just haven't had a chance to play with it yet. Part of it now is also just trying to rebuild stock available for Otakon. So yeah, that's going to keep me busy for a while. I can't wait to get my hands on the Outlaw too, man. Just to see what I can do with those.
Yeah, those are gonna paint up real pretty.
They will, just because like I've been doing a lot of Deuce Pros lately, and the Deuce Pro I definitely do in like a whatchamacallit, whatever color scheme I do. Anyways, they've been selling pretty good too, so we gotta restock on those. I think I'm also looking forward to the new X-Shot minigun that's coming out.
Yeah, that whole Insanity line looks crazy. Ha 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 ha.
I prefer the term misunderstood.
I think we understand exactly what's going on there.
Just a little bit. Oh yeah, they're gonna be outlaw specials, that's for sure, man. Oh wait, hey Valor, do you know when nerfing for autism is? Or Neil, do either of you have dates on that? I was asked earlier, and yeah, we couldn't figure out when that's going to be, or if that's actually even been established yet. See, there we go, a chain-fed outlaw. That is nuts.
Hey, people did chain-fed Mavericks back in the day. Why not an outlaw?
All right, so yeah, it looks like nerfing for autism. The date hasn't been picked yet.
Okay.
Yeah, same Neil. I'm going as well. So is Andrew. He just doesn't know yet.
If I can make it, I'll be there. If I'm not, gallivanting across France at the time.
Well, you can, but I don't think there's a train from France to. Ha 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 ha
South
ha.
Carolina. The
Ha ha.
Carolinas.
Somewhere.
And Carolina. Was Carolina.
I wouldn't recommend taking a deep sea submarine. That's
I'll take a submersible.
I would not recommend that.
If they're holding nerfing for autism at 20,000 feet, things have gotten weird.
You know what? If they're doing that, then we'll just call in for that one, and we'll make it. We'll make it a Zoom call.
It's for the best.
Well, we don't want to take up valuable oxygen for other people, and
look, it's a lot of pressure, man.
It is a lot of pressure. My doctor recommends not to implode. Nerfing on the Titanic. There we go. Not see. There you go. Boomstick is not thinking out of the box. So we're going to try. You know what's problem? So nerfing on the Titanic, it's just a whole new thing. Instead of humans versus zombies, it's haunted nerfing, ghost nerfing, yeah, possession, nerf possession. Oh wait, it's the something undead.
Why will this not adhere? I hate trying to solder XD60 connectors with this huge wire.
I'll go if I could be a roommate. The X-Shot minigun is available on Amazon. Is it? What's it listed for? But truthfully, I haven't checked in the last little bit, so I would not know. Would either of you consider the Spectre as an upgrade to the Maverick?
Yes. And I'll tell you why. Because the cylinder rotates on prime, which makes it much, much less prone to jams.
Agreed.
It's only 5 rounds as opposed to 6, but I'd rather have 5 rounds that don't jam than 6 rounds that do. What's going on? Any chat? Anyone talking? Who's talking?
Oh, actually, I just realized something. Yeah, I got to make something cool because I may have a Mega XL Gauntlet launcher on the way from a certain Canadian, which I'm looking forward to. So yeah, I'm gonna have to stick that on something. Yeah, there's gonna have to be that. That's for sure. I haven't sorted that out yet, but
That should be awesome.
then I got to figure out a shoulder-mounted thing.
Yeah, I need to revisit the concept of shoulder mounted. I haven't done anything shoulder mounted in forever.
There we go. Yeah, Neil's report again. He loves his, which I kind of figured. Oh, by the way, so we had talked about the putting a wrist mount stick things to make it like a universal mount. I think you and I talked about it. Not on here, on wherever it is. Anyways, messaging back and forth. And then what I think I'm going to use as a base to try to stick a bunch of Picatinny rail to is what do you call it? What you call it? The thing the archers put on their arms.
Oh, bracer, yeah.
Yeah, but like the specific ones, like more one that's solid because I figure it's got enough space in it so your arm doesn't become a sweaty mess. Will be stable enough so that it won't twist around on your arm as well. But the list of things I got to be
Technical term
messing
that you're
with.
looking for is vambrace.
That's it.
Forearm armor is called vambraces. And yes, that is like for my my arm-mounted Zeus's. They mount to like catcher shin guards, rigid catcher shin guards,
Yep.
or like soccer shin guards or whatever.
Yeah. The Shaka shin guards are nice, but it's kind of hard to find. Actually, I haven't had much luck finding like some of the old ones I grew up with, which were
Yeah,
much more solid. Where now they're trying to make
yeah.
them lighter and more durable. So, eh, eh,
Yep.
haven't found it yet.
You could also, if you search around for like riot armor, police riot
Oh,
armor, you can find some decent armor stuff.
I've not tried that. I shall
I
try
mean, you're
that.
probably gonna. It's not probably not going to be cheap because they're going to be, selling it as if you had the budget of a major police department. But
Yeah, this is true.
you can always try AliExpress. They might have something. Why will you not adhere, you wretched wire?
Oh, I think it was on Monday. I was wearing my. I was going to the beach and I had my. Valor says you need flux. That's why. Um,
I've added flux.
Not enough apparently. Maybe it's the wrong flux.
That might be it. You know what? You know what? I'm gonna take Valor's advice.
He said it
I'm gonna
probably
smear
oxidized.
the thing. I have replaced it
I was
already.
actually.
I do have a fan blowing, so I mean I might just be accelerating the oxidation like nobody's business. I'm gonna flux it.
So on
I'm gonna
Monday when I
flux
was
it on
coming
the
up
land.
off the beach, on Monday I was coming off the beach, I was wearing one of my Out of the Geek shirts. As I'm coming up, the one guy stops me. He says, "All right, I need to know." I said, "Yeah." He says, "Why do you have the Mando logo on your shirt? Because that looks really cool." So then I explained to him who I was and that it's obviously not a Mando logo and blah blah blah. And as we're going back and forth, as I explain to him how my logo was created and all that good stuff, his wife finally stops, looks at both of us. She goes, "Geek talking to geek. Thank heavens I don't have to listen to him anymore." And then walked away.
All right. It adhered.
No way.
Not clean. Uh,
Just a nothingly.
Come on. Just a little bit more. Got it. All right. Finally. Cool a little
For
bit.
the record, for those that joined late, he actually is working on something and not just doesn't have his head down and pretending to do stuff.
I'm soldering on my smart gun backpack. Finally got one side done. All right, now this side. Cut these wires loose.
This is a prime example and a great answer when it's like, "Have you done that yet?" And this is why sometimes I want to get to it, but sometimes we just realize, man, that's going to be so much fun, which is why suddenly procrastination is a wonderful thing.
Yep, I need this blaster for this weekend for reasons I've been putting it off because I didn't need it for anything. And then we got the most magnificent opportunity to use it. And I'm like, okay, I got 2 days to make this thing work again.
So he'll tell you it's one thing. The real reason is that his property has been overrun by rabid chipmunks. He has been surrounded and has not been able to leave his house in 3 days. So is trying to develop non-lethal means so that he can break out of his house and actually rejoin the world again.
Sir, I will not stand for this shameless and spurless allegations against Swamp Cat's hunting ability. I have not seen a squirrel in months.
That's why I said chipmunks. And Swamp Cat is fighting valiantly. However, Swamp Cat feels that someone in the house is not holding up to their end of the bargain and requires backup.
You know, that is definitely something that she would say. If I stay up in my Lego room too late working on stuff, she will come up and just drag me to bed. She takes better care of me than I do.
She is truly a heroic cat.
Yeah, I don't have a pet. I have a familiar.
She's not your pet. She's your keeper.
Yeah. Sent by the local fae to keep me from going mad and hermitude.
Oh yeah, there we go, Valor. What is your take on End War? We heard Andrews earlier. He had a blast. Generally, I've heard from most people so far that overall it was a fun experience, except for the gross heat, humidity, dying heat stuff, hotness.
No accounting for weather.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. He was only there for FoamCon. How was FoamCon? Considering. Don't worry, Neil. I missed it too. And again, Xavier would have made it, but however, back to the chipmunk situation.
I could have made it. I just didn't want to. So I didn't.
It's because of the chipmunks.
Alright, it's because of the chipmunk. Actually, I would have loved to have been there. There just was reasons I couldn't be.
Yeah, it's I know it's sparse, but it's like I would have been there, but I already had I'm still at the beach. Yeah, family beach vacation that we left for on Saturday. So there's no way I could have done it. Otherwise, I would have been there. And considering for the small time frame, the small window of like 6 weeks since it was announced, so I still think considering that you get a decent enough turnout, and also on a holiday long weekend. So all things considered.
And it's...
Yeah, if I drove to FoamCon from the beach from here, I think that'd be like an 11 or 12 hour ride for me.
The short time frame was unfortunate, but the good news is it isn't the only event anymore. So, I mean, if you end up not able to go to End War, there are other options now. Where it used to be, that was it. So if you couldn't make it, or if End War didn't happen, then there just was no event. But the hobby has grown. Any chat? The questions? What's going on? I'm lighting stuff on fire. What? Said I missed it. SWAT cats. No, I definitely never heard of SWAT cats. Ragnar Oktoberfest is amazing. Or at least it definitely was back in 2018 and 19. Hopefully when it comes back it keeps up its reputation, which I have no doubt that it will. The people in charge know what they're about. Alright. Time for a test.
Here we go. Now we're testing.
If I've gotten everything
back
right,
to what you were saying earlier.
I should be able to plug That turned on. Hooray!
That sounds good.
Blower turned on anyway.
Do I like the Nerf Elite 2.0 Warden? I haven't picked one up yet. Possibly, so the jury's still out on it.
What are you
Someone
talking
asked if
about?
I like the Nerf. Someone asked if I like the Nerf Elite 2.0 Warden.
I don't know which one that even is.
I think it's the rework on what a rough cut.
Well, it appears to be working.
Sounds like it.
Don't know if it has quite the amount of juice I feel it should.
Uh-oh.
That could just be a matter of the blower. But as long as it will feed, we'll be good. Okay. So that's done up to that point. Now, which end is on there? Nah, either of these will work. Okay. What do we got? What do we got? Yeah, I think the early release of the Warden, the internals were fragile or something, and people were breaking them. I know Wallcom broke like 3 of them trying to do a review. Supposedly, that they fixed that. I never had one break, but I don't think I ever used one more than a couple of times.
I don't even have one yet.
I acquired some recently. I don't know if I got them at Goodwill or what, but I got a couple of them. I gave one to my FedEx delivery guy. Apparently he's got a grandson who's into Nerf. So I'm like, here, have some stuff. Tell him all about me. Tell your grandson you delivered to Captain Xavier.
Funny is, grandson probably already knows who you are.
That's what I said. I mean, if he watches YouTube stuff, he's probably heard of me.
That's right.
Next time I order something that gets FedEx, I'll have to ask him how it went.
Yep.
We can arrange to have his grandson's birthday here or something and just really make him the coolest granddad ever.
I take it you like your FedEx guy.
Yeah, he's a decent sort.
Nice.
Endless soldering continues. Flux. Make a noise.
That was me. It was. Oh yeah, so when are you gonna do your makerspace for people event thing stuff?
Soon. Kind of wait until the end of the event season, because right now there's a Nerf event every single weekend for the rest of the summer here on the Pacific Northwest. Whether it be my event, Borst, the waffle game, the awful game. Wherever you are, you're never more than a couple of hours from a Nerf event.
So then that means October?
Yeah, give or take.
Yeah.
All right. should be all of the backpack's wiring now done.
Oh.
Now I just need to figure out how to wire the MOSFET on the other end to activate it.
What's my favorite blaster? There are many, but for some reason right now, I guess when it comes to performance, accuracy, the Harrier.
Harrier's
Other
lovely.
things for other reasons. The Harrier, so we'll
Love
go
the
that
shape.
one.
Love the performance.
Yeah, man.
Love the construction, the quality. It's just...
God, yeah.
The
It's
only thing
awesome.
it lacks. It lacks one thing, and that's an easy swap spring.
Yeah.
It doesn't have that when it's got a buffer tube, and they could have just made the back of the buffer tube come off. They didn't. I don't know why, but they didn't.
Just because.
Just because.
Just because.
That's the thing, is all the various blasters that exist, they're always missing something. There's always one feature that they don't have. Usually, like there isn't one blaster that has every one of the good features. The ones that have quick teardown don't have this other thing, or like the Swift doesn't have Picatinny rail under its pump grip, so you can't replace the pump grip easily. Axes or swords? What am I doing? Cutting down a tree or dueling?
Depending on the size of the tree, you can use a sword.
Swords aren't good for that. The thing about swords is swords are only good for one thing. Axes are good for lots of things.
This is true, but you're using reason and logic.
Yes.
Where sometimes the tree's small enough and you have a sword, you wonder, could I chop down this tree with a sword?
Yeah. See, I fought in medieval recreation for years, and I never got a regular sword for armored combat because they were expensive, and I didn't have the tools to make them myself. Whereas I could hand make an axe that I could use in our group with just sheet metal and a closet rod I got from Home Depot. I could make an axe or a halberd or a pike. I couldn't make a sword, so I never made one. And I never felt the need for one because they're great if you're, riding on horseback taking out peasants, but if you're fighting someone in armor, sword's a lousy weapon against armor. For that, you want a warhammer or an axe or a bill. Bill's my favorite weapon.
Back to what Neil said. Yeah, if you're in
I
the...
fought axe and cutlass for a long time.
There you go. Just a quick... Yeah, so on this side of the Mississippi, if you were anywhere near Maryland within a couple hours, there quite literally is an event almost every weekend. The Foam Alliance, and then through other ones peppered through. So depending on which coast you live in, yeah, no excuses. We got things. You just got to drive a little bit, but it is worth the drive.
Alternatively, start something.
What a novel concept. Because you know what then? You get to make it the way you want to make it.
Yeah. But someone's got to start the event or the events don't happen.
Well, that's also why you were getting more events than just End War, to tack on to what you talked about. Why is there Maryland Mayhem? Maryland Foam Alliance, a couple of different groups, they started doing their own thing. They got together, and suddenly it's amazing how that, once you start, don't be afraid to push the snowball down the hill. Just hang on for the ride and be smart about it. And suddenly you'll actually have your own event too. And don't just, sometimes stop complaining and just try doing something yourself. And I hope that was more inspiring than harsh. Go do something. Yeah, do something.
Let's see, what do we got? I would love to have a unicorn. The unicorn is a fascinating, svelte little blaster. I've got one around here somewhere.
Anthony brought his to Pennsylvania Survival Fest, and I have to admit, it is intriguing. It is intriguing.
I unfortunately got the one with the weaker plunger tube, or the slotted plunger tube. So I'm hoping. I know Out of Darts sells the one with the better, and I'm hoping somebody just has a plunger tube. Just because apparently the slotted one is really rough on your O-ring because you've got a metal edge that your O-ring is going to be slamming against.
Yeah.
But the size of it, it's just so small and yet quite powerful. So
Yeah.
small but fierce. Okay.
Yes.
I'm trying to figure out a thing. What am I doing? That's what I need to do. I need to wire what used to be power to a MOSFET. Okay, the backpack is done. Hopefully, I don't actually know if it works.
Allegedly.
It might be that the blower that's in it is too weak and I need to find a better blower.
And where would you find a better blower?
Camping supply store.
Oh.
It just uses an air mattress pump, a 12-volt air mattress pump.
Oh, yeah.
But those come in a lot of different qualities and powers and works and all that stuff. So, I would need to see what I got. Alternatively, I do have my regular proton pack that I know works really well. I would just need to make sure that the hose is long enough.
Oh, yeah.
And the wiring. That was why I was going to wire in an audio jack so that it would be compatible with any of my proton packs instead of just this one. But I can just wire in an adapter at the end. Remove that. Wire that to a jack. I'm just talking to myself now, don't mind me.
Well, at the beginning of this stream, people thought you were talking to yourself because I was not here, even though we could see each other.
This is true. And to be fair, I basically am talking to myself.
That's right.
This is what we in the programming world refer to as talking to the duck.
There. Yes.
You say it out loud, and when you say it out loud, if it doesn't make sense, it's easier to tell that it doesn't make sense when you say it out loud. So programmers with a rubber duck on their desk and literally just talk out.
There you go. We learned something new today. So is anybody watching going to APOC?
Hello? Alright. Now the question is, this has 3 pins and this has 2 pins. Which pins do I need?
So do you normally guess the correct pins right off the get-go, or do you usually guess the wrong pins?
I don't guess. I figure out through experimentation.
So is your experimentation right the first time or the second time?
Implications. Actually, no. Nothing bad could happen as a result of me getting this wrong. That's nice to know. The worst is,
there we
it just
go.
won't work.
Yeah, these things happen. You mean not everything you make is right the first time you make it, and it just pops up and it works beautifully, just like that?
You know, people have asked me this, and I'm gonna come clean. Did we see Coop retired? I don't know why people think we live under a rock. I mean, we're on the same Facebook groups. We're subscribed to the same channels that you are. How would we have not seen it? Yes, we are aware. We discussed that earlier. I realize not everyone's been on the stream since the beginning. That would be tedious.
No, neither were we. We just had fill-ins.
It's true.
Doubles.
You weren't even on the stream at the beginning. It's just me talking to myself. What were we talking about?
I felt like you needed a moment.
I'm gone. done. I'm melting. It's 90 degrees here. I'm not built for this weather. I'm from the cold places. Oh, I was gonna come
You're
clean.
gonna-
Yeah, people. I get asked a
Yes.
lot. Like, how do you always get it right the first time? You're like, you have any idea how much stuff I edit out of my videos?
Oh my
It's
God.
really easy to make myself look good when I can cut out all of the mistakes.
Oh, which reminds me, you'll be able to see all that unaired footage on OnlyFans. Same footage. You'll
You
either be
know,
watching all the stuff that he
that would be.
messes up.
I should do that. I should have blooper reels and video of me picking up darts on my OnlyFans.
That was going to be the second tier, so you could also watch. You can watch Xavier pick up darts.
Just bending over
That's right.
to pick up darts. Hours of
And
footage of me bending over to pick up darts.
if you pay for his super elite
Perfect.
status, you will get to watch him eat donuts.
All right.
Oh, Neil is reporting it. That's why I stopped streaming my builds. Yeah.
Good call.
Well, notice that the camera angle is just high enough so you can't see what he's doing. So therefore, at this point, he can tell us how successful or unsuccessful he is. And he actually has a vacuum cleaner there that he's hitting, so it sounds like it's working properly. Don't show him now. You blow your cover.
I need to make
man.
this. Plug into this. Using this. I have a question about my modded Elite Alpha Trooper 12. You gonna share it with us, or do you want us to just give answers and hope one of them matches? You're holding it
The
upside
answer
down.
is 7.
The spring is in backwards.
Green.
It only uses left-handed darts.
It may need therapy.
It's got post-traumatic stress. Brass looks like a clutch for a one-hit crippler? What?
What? What did I walk in on? Same thing that's what happened for the last hour and a half. Quite the show. It never knew his father. Yeah, see, it never knew his father.
It was adopted.
It thinks it's dating its cousin.
It actually is dating its cousin.
See, this explains so many things now.
It identifies as reverse plunger.
Oh. It's a size queen. It only likes the big darts.
It was assembled by one of those rare people whose heart is on the other side of their chest. Nothing we're going to be able to do about that.
No.
Are they still here? Did
We may
they
have
ask
actually-
the question?
Maybe we
Ask
answered
the
them.
question. Maybe we did.
Maybe we answered it. Who or what are we roasting? Chestnuts. No, wait, wrong time of year. Never mind. There was a question about an elite alpha trooper, so we just provided all the uncommon answers that you can't find on YouTube.
It may be a long question and they're just still typing.
Could very well be.
We may have scared
I would hope so, because if one of our answers was correct,
I'd have a lot more questions.
it failed the paternity test.
It was born under an unfavorable moon.
One of my number one wishes is to have a blaster battle in the snow. Have either of you
I
experienced that?
If you go to the Captain Xavier Facebook page, I'm pretty sure the background picture is of one of the first HVZs I went to, in which it is snowing. You can actually see snow collecting on our heads. Great picture. They got whoever took the picture took it just as a dart was coming out of my stampede. Aha, we've got a question. Okay, I put a
There
kit
it
in
is.
it, and now it doesn't want to prime forward all the way, and occasionally the slam fire will discharge a dart. Is it possible I put in something backwards? I would almost guarantee that you've clearly put in something backwards.
Yeah.
Depends on the kit. Is this a half dart kit? Is it the original plunger? It's very easy to put the plunger in the wrong way. On those, that does have to be at exactly the right orientation. Yeah, you've clearly installed the kit wrong, or you haven't cut something that needed cut, or you cut something that shouldn't have been cut. Yeah, we need more information. And I
But
need to
most
mount this
likely,
jack.
and don't feel bad about it, because that's also for a lot of my the ones I make and the ones I paint. If I don't have to open it up, I avoid opening it up because sometimes putting it back together is not always fun. It doesn't always go the way you want it.
I personally am absolutely disgusted that you did not get it right on the first try. I'm very disappointed. I
I'm sorry,
certainly
who are
not
you
done that.
talking to?
Where does this wire go? How do I even get to that wire? Who built this thing?
Why is there wire?
That would be me.
Not why is wire? I think Builder BB had a follow up
How
to
is the
that
wire?
question.
Why?
How is the wire? Yeah, build. Yeah, there's BB. Did you remove the lock on the back of the sled? That could be also your problem for the Elite Alpha Trooper.
Why are you modifying Alpha Trooper? Alpha Trooper is fine as it is.
Very good.
It is like Sentinel. Sentinel is fine.
Made from old Soviet tank parts.
I say this, my standard HVZ Strife is also modded. It's got an old Orange Modworks kit in it.
I have not checked in on what they are providing. Where are they at right now?
I have no idea if they are even still a thing. I will be perfectly honest. Where does that wire go?
What's actually happened is the captain has now actually wired his watch to the blaster. He can't tell time, however, that's about it.
Oh! Right. No. Yes.
You got it? Here's a better question.
Okay.
Were,
I
were
figured
you
it
hoping
out.
to get this? Oh, have you?
No. Yes. Yes.
So originally, this stream was only supposed to be about an hour, and he was supposed to have this fixed and display and firing. We are now running on extra time, so we will actually
That
be
is a wicked and pernicious lie, sir.
we will now be actually broadcasting over your regular scheduled program, which you can find on our alternative channels. But in the meantime, we will continue with coverage of the.
Captain Xavier's ignominious failures.
No, attempts at greatness. Yeah, let's go with that.
Yeah, that sounds much better.
It does, because who else is watching this has a smart gun that functions?
As far as I know, nobody.
Yeah, so I
They did
think
build
you're pretty safe.
a real steel smart gun,
Did they really?
and that's a pretty cool concept.
Based off what, an M60, or what would they use?
No, they used an MG42.
Yeah, never mind. Yeah, yeah, of course it would.
You can get those. This is America.
Yeah, you can. You can get everything.
Right. All right. I just need to figure out how to solder that to there.
Oh, so while I'm at the beach, we had family with us as well. They went back today. So my niece, after showing her pictures of like the large inflatable thing Dart Zone has, where you can use it as a dart catcher in the backstop for events.
Yeah.
So her reaction looks at me and she goes, "Well, why don't you have one of those?"
Yeah. Why don't
Um,
you have one of
I
those?
don't know. Wait, thanks for piling on. So I just sit there thinking about it. I said, I don't think if you can get one. And so the fact that she knows my wife is my brand manager and somehow gets my logo stuck on everything, I said maybe you should ask my manager. And she said, we should be careful because if I ask that question, she'll make it happen.
Yeah.
I'm just fearing what that would cost. But at the same
Okay.
time, dude,
Don't ask what it would
if
cost. Ask what it would be worth.
so, then that means if I get one, you got to get one too.
Yep.
Perfect. We've just established something. So we are now going to get large inflatable dart catchers.
I mean, I turned my entire forest into a giant dirt catcher.
Why not have a giant inflatable one? People buy inflatable Santa Claus and other things. Why not have a giant inflatable dart catcher with your logo
My
on it?
neighbor has their own inflatable bouncy castle.
See?
Not a very big one, but they have it.
Can we just borrow it and put like your big logo on it?
You know, I actually was kind of wondering, like, I wonder what that actually cost. That might be the economic way to go about it.
So we okay. All right, I will find out. Oh, and then the other thing, and I can't remember how this stroke of whatever it came about. Anthony and I. Oh, that's right. Anthony Maritime Phone. We were talking about decorating because he got a new place and he was talking about like decorating. So I was laughing. I made the joke that so above your fireplace, do you need a big like picture of me doing this?
You giving them the
Uh,
look.
yes. And he apparently he did say yes because there will be actual pictures of like various people from the hobby up on it. So it'll be kind of like a tribute to like the whole hobby, which I think will be cool. Then I have no idea how we stumbled upon like lifelike dummies of each of us, which then turned into the if we had lifelike dummies of us that we could put in a shooting booth. Yeah, that doesn't look like you though.
It doesn't. I need to get a beard.
That's right.
Yeah, a shooting booth would actually be that would be pretty cool.
So
We
then
need,
that's the following thing is now lifelike. That's right. Like big marionettes.
okay.
Come now, where you two can shoot Al the Geek, Captain Xavier, and Maritime Foam as they dance about the back of a big inflatable booth.
In the face. Shoot him in
In
the
the
face.
face. In the face.
All right. We're still back to the I need to plug this jack into this thing somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Did we lose chat? I've seen nothing come up yet.
I don't know. What do we got? Inflatable like the DZ1 at Enwar. Yeah, exactly. That is, in fact, the
Yes.
one we are talking about. Definitely going to Battle of Endor. Oh, yeah. I've heard about that.
Oh yeah, you're coming to that, man.
Am I?
Yeah.
When is that?
Sometime after Europe. Neil, when's Battle of Endor?
Ask the guy. Okay.
Vader was for the win. I have a Geek Dart Catcher. That's what we'll do. On the, like the little pieces of fabric on the front of it, instead of my logo, it'll just be my face going like this.
Yeah.
So you can shoot me right in the eye.
You would just need the faces, and then set them
That's
up on
right.
something that makes them bobble, makes them bob, back
There
and
you
forth.
go.
And you gotta shoot them, and then they fall down. And if you hit them all, you get a stuffed rodent.
That's right. Oh, there we go. November 4th in Severn, Maryland, is Endor, the Battle of Endor.
Never heard of it.
It's actually in the forest. Well, no, that's because that's the Maryland Foam Alliance. That's their big. Well, actually, specifically, because I'm gonna name the wrong one. Anyways, Maryland Foam Alliance, and it is the Maryland Nerfers. Correct me if I'm wrong, Neil. Feel free to yell at me after. That is the main host of the event. But, anyways, it's in Severn, Maryland, and it is November 4th, and it happens in the forest.
Okay. Does this turn on when I touch these together?
Yes.
No. Why not? It should.
And someone
Or
pointed why they
would
needed.
if it was plugged in.
What a novel concept. Although someone did say,
Ow!
why shoot at a fake Captain Xavier when you can shoot the real Captain Xavier?
Because I can't be everywhere. Okay. That's working.
Success.
Now I need to figure out which of these poles need to be connected. We'll connect that to that, and that to... That ain't it. Must be this one and this one.
Release the Captain clone. Yeah, that's
Okay.
the advantage of shooting at a dummy. The dummy doesn't shoot back at you.
Okay. I know which things I need to solder to.
Thank you for the correction. I am sorry about that. Yes. Don't get old and have a brain tumor. You forget stuff and say stupid things.
Yeah, anxiety and depression will do that too. That's why I don't remember anything.
Yes. My apologies, Roxy.
What's going on?
Builder BB, knock down the Captain Xavier target. It pops up with a sign that says,
How very dare you? I support this plan.
let's face it, we've made bigger and stupider things. So this is not outside the realm of possibility. Oh, Neil says he has a solution. What's the solution, Neil? Dare I ask? I can use the same jumping targets I use for Can Jam. I just need to CAD your likenesses on Tinkercad.
Perfect.
Sure. Actually, I am very much liking the idea of logoed inflatables. I'm gonna find out about that. If we have them, yeah, I'll bring it because nerfing for autism, I'm gonna go regardless, as long as I don't have a weekend interference. Part of it is just because I have a cousin that lives in Raleigh, and he gives me a great excuse to go see him, and I'll be staying at his place anyway. So
You got room for two?
potentially, I'll find out.
Eh,
He also owns a restaurant, man. It's a steakhouse, and the place is amazing.
I'm in. I'll sleep in a tent in the backyard. I don't even care. I did it in Friesland. I can do it in Raleigh.
And yeah, no kidding.
Best night's sleep I had in Europe was in that tent in Friesland.
Isn't that always the case, man? Your best night to sleep.
Yeah. Okay. I've completed another step.
Neil, I went in on steaks. Yeah, man, we'll sort it out. It's it's called Bruno's Steak. It's Bruno's Steak and Seafood. It's Northern Raleigh.
Oh, steak and seafood. If he's got a good
Yeah, man.
steak and shrimp, I am so there.
Dude, it's good.
Okay.
I may be biased, but holy cow, man,
That's
I'm good.
that's done, that's done, that's done. Okay, I just need a tiny MOSFET board.
End of October. Are we talking like the 21st? Because the 21st of October, I am most likely going to be going up to Canada, just because of what you call it, Tang, and basically a lot of the our on Canadian Ontarian Nerfers are having an event, and they're doing it on the 21st of October, where it's going to be a Halloween themed one, and it's going to be actually a unique event. Plus, again, I'm originally from Toronto, so it gives me a good excuse to go up, see the folks, and then participate in that event also. And that one we're trying to push just because clear we're biased where you have all the events that happen south of the border in the U.S. It would be nice to have actually one in Canada, and most likely we'll be able to actually pull Anthony to come out for that too. So yeah, we're gonna sort it out. Neil, if you're gonna come about that, you and I will talk about that at Otakon because there will be options available with some of the people that are hosting it. So yeah, we'll sort it out, brother. But that one's gonna be October 21st. That one's gonna be up in Canada. It's basically east of Toronto. And actually, Neil, because it is Canada, and though unlikely but not out of the realm of possibility, it might be an event in the snow. But yeah, definitely nerfing for autism. I definitely want to attend that as well. So we'll get it sorted. In the snow, and usually if you're nerfing in the snow, I highly doubt that's going to be an all-day event, unless you like to freeze.
You also are not getting your darts back.
No,
Come to grips with this and move on with your life.
that's right. Perfect. Thanks, Roxy. There we go. Do lipos work in extreme snow, extreme cold?
Yes, lipos do, alkalines don't.
High wheels it is then. Or just not Nerf in the extreme cold.
Yeah, because, I mean, the extreme cold isn't going to be good for your springers because it's going to make your plastic brittle. And your springs
Or,
less powerful.
or your feet, or freezing, or cold.
Look, you can just put layers on. Aren't you from Canada? What's your excuse?
Yes, but I moved away from it, man. And
Now
technically,
you're now you live in the South where it's warm. Okay. All right.
dude, technically, so again, my parents were immigrants. They came from Croatia, and so my
Well,
whole family
that ain't
backline
right.
is from the Adriatic. So I can argue of years and years of living on the Adriatic, even though I didn't, because I live in Canada and I'm used to the cold. But you know, when you get older,
I'm having the problem of, I plugged it in and it worked. It wasn't supposed to. What have I done wrong?
uh-oh.
On Earth. You should not be doing stuff. You have not been flipped. You wretched MOSFET.
He doesn't like you. What you probably need is the answer to one of the previous answers we've given. Does your MOSFET know who his father is?
What on Earth? I just have a bad MOSFET? Is that the problem here? Give me another
Could
MOSFET.
be. So how's the 1 hour stream going? Technical difficulties. It just keeps on going and never ends. All right, how close are you to success?
Uh, well, I need to figure out why my MOSFET is tripped even though I haven't tripped it.
Neil, I don't have a
But,
patch wall yet. I gotta find a place where I can hang them all because I do have a thing to collect them. I gotta find a place to put them up, man. But then part of it is I gotta my basement. I try to keep doing too many things with, from workshop to storage to a place I can hang out with in hobby room. But it's hard to have that all happen. So rework's gonna happen where I can incorporate a patch wall.
Might have just been a bad MOSFET.
Better now?
Maybe.
There you go.
It's occurred to me I might not actually need this MOSFET.
Could be.
If I don't know what that would do.
This we'll find out. All right, brother, I got to jump.
Yeah. You
It is
can
10:30.
bounce whenever you want. This is a volunteer operation.
That my agent will call your agent.
No, you were working a second ago. Now you're not working again. What?
Have you eaten dinner yet?
It's not dinner time here yet.
7:30.
Is that dinner time?
I don't know. When is your dinner time? When does your keeper tell you it's dinner time?
I think she's currently trapped in the house, so she can't get to me.
That's why she hasn't come to retrieve you yet.
Oh, interesting. I may have just had it plugged in the wrong way is all. Let's see if that works.
All right, we'll wait for that, then we'll abandon ship.
Okay.
In
So
the
far
meantime,
it's not working. It's not working, which is good.
all right, good. So in the meantime, while he does that, just to let y'all know who are left on this 1 hour stream, that clearly we need watches and timekeepers. We will be doing this again, not next Wednesday, but the Wednesday after that. We will check schedules. But I will probably be back at my shop as well. If I'm still at the beach, something's gone horribly wrong, and the authorities should be called.
I figured it out.
Perfect. All right. I got to go.
Get out of here.
But thank y'all very much. Talk to y'all soon, and we'll see you soon. All right, brother. I'll talk to you soon, man.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Now the question is, the question we ask ourselves is, can I activate this MOSFET with signal wire from a different switch? Do I want to try that? No. No, I don't. I'm just going to heat the pin like I oughta. Right. How's everyone there? How you doing? What you working on? I'm building a smart gun. Sorting darts. I do have darts I need to sort too. I do enjoy sorting darts. Looking for logo inspiration. I'm not going to be soldering anything for a second. I need to go program my board. Yes, I am going to heat up one of the pins on the Nerf Duino so that it'll be high when the rev is going, and that will turn the backpack on. Should turn the backpack on. It also occurred to me that when I flip the rev switch, it is connecting signal wire. But I don't know which way it's going, and I don't think I want to do it that way. This way I think is cleaner. I enjoyed doing the Goodwill videos. The problem is I don't live in Tacoma anymore, where there were 10 Goodwills within a 10-mile radius of me, and 10 more 20 miles north, and 10 more 20 miles north of that. Here I'm 30 miles from the nearest Goodwill, either north or south, and they're not very good Goodwills. So I don't get the opportunity to do the big Goodwill runs because they're an hour's drive minimum north or south. If I want to get down to the Portland area, there's a fair number up there, or if I want to go back up to the Seattle area. So I don't get to do them as much. And yeah, I need to alter the code on my Nerf Arduino, which is going to require me to go to my computer. So that's where I'm going to stop. I am actually going to get some food. And I actually don't have plans on the gauntlet. But if one showed up, I wouldn't say no. Anyway, yeah, I'm off. This has been fun. We plan to do this every 2 weeks, so hypothetically we'll be doing it again 2 weeks from now. Stay tuned. Goodbye. How do I get out of here? Hulk.